What began as a routine call for deputies ended in tragedy inside of a home just outside of Chattanooga, Tennessee. Investigators finding a woman unresponsive. Her boyfriend, former Buckeye and NFL linebacker Darren Lee, still at the scene and taken into custody. He's now charged with first-degree murder and tampering with evidence. Lee's story once looked very different. From New Albany High School to Ohio State, he became a defensive star, helping lead the Buckeyes to a Sugar Bowl victory in 2015. Drafted in the first round by the New York Jets in 2016, he played for several NFL teams, including a Super Bowl winning squad. But off the field, Lee's life was troubled. Arrests for domestic violence and assault stretch back to 2014, involving multiple women. In 2023, he faced probation after pleading guilty to attempted assault on a female relative in Dublin. Now, the most serious allegation yet, the death of his girlfriend, has stunned his hometown and raised urgent questions about a pattern of violence.
Welcome to the video, everyone. So, doing a reaction here to the news that ex-pro football player Darren Lee arrested on suspected of murdering his girlfriend. This happened right outside of in Tennessee. So it says Hamilton County, if I'm not mistaken. What was on the crime scene unit van here. But, you know, basically, as they were just running through a little timeline, he had a history of, you know, violence against, you know, his former girlfriends and, you know, made it to the league, you know, went to Ohio State, was on championship football teams. And, you know, to be that accomplished and still go out here and do, you know, this type of stuff it's just it's really sad, man. It's just how you can watch your life go from up to a down really quickly. And it's just like you know, is it CTE? Is it just, you know, this is who you are as a person? I mean, having a history of doing it, it's just like you know, you keep going until you know, get to a point of this right here, like where you're just taking someone's life. And, you know, maybe he had anger issues, or, you know, just wasn't able to communicate effectively, and you know, felt like physical violence was the way. But, you know, that's never the way. And really no excuses. And it's you know, real sad for this young lady and you know, her family. So, you know, definitely sending my condolences to them. And, you know, we'll just have to see, you know, what happens with Darren Lee going forward. But, you know, a lot of times, man, these guys, these athletes, of course, you know, your athletic talents get you to a certain stage in life to where you're starting to earn like real money for your talents. And when that career is over, it's just like a lot of times, you know, athletes are lost. They don't necessarily know what they can do or what to do. And, you know, if he is still in good playing condition and feel like he should be on a team, you know, that a lot of times plays around in their mind as well. But again, none of that is any excuse to murder anybody. But it's just the cycle that athletes go through. They don't have a solid plan for after their playing days are over, whether it's early or whether it's late. You know, they find themselves in, you know, real terrible situations.
Former NFL linebacker sits in the Hamilton County Jail charged with murder. Good evening and thanks for joining us. I'm Kim Chapman-Whitfield.
And I'm Josh Rowe. The Sheriff's Office reports Darren Lee was taken into custody on Thursday after his girlfriend was found dead at a home in Ottawa.
And News Channel 9's Sarah Hauer is live from the scene with more on this investigation. Sarah.
Kim, Josh, I'm here at that home on Snowcone Way in Ottawa, where just a couple of hours ago, investigators removed the yellow caution tape at the property where police say a former NFL player is accused of killing his girlfriend. The Hamilton County Sheriff's Office says deputies were called here Thursday afternoon to a report of CPR in progress. When they arrived, they found a woman inside suffering from severe injuries. Police say she later died at the scene. The victim's boyfriend, Darren Lee, is now charged with first-degree murder and tampering with evidence. Lee was a former first-round NFL draft pick selected by the New York Jets in 2016 and played for several teams before his career ended in 2021. Here you can see Lee in Jets practice footage and then on the field at Ohio State, where he starred as a linebacker. In the affidavit, investigators say the injuries and blood evidence found throughout the home were, quote, not consistent with the defendant's statements, and that evidence indicated an attempt to remove, alter, or conceal blood evidence related to the violent crime. The affidavit states the victim had what appeared to be a 1-inch penetrating stab wound on her abdomen, and investigators documented what appeared to be a large circular human bite mark on the victim's shoulder. Police say more charges could be pending as that investigation continues. Live in Ottawa, Sarah Hauer, News Channel 9.
So, just a little bit of information there. They're saying that the victim, the girlfriend, had a bite mark on her shoulder. What appeared to be a bite mark on the shoulder, and a pretty deep stab wound to the abdomen. And it seems like once he realized what had happened, he tried to cover up a lot of evidence and cover up his trash. But when blood splatters, it's really no removing that. And blood is one of those things where if you don't have like the right stuff, of course it's gonna be pretty difficult to clean up. And even if you clean it up, a lot of blood can be shown through like UV lighting and stuff like that. So very, very terrible, man. Could have been an argument, and more than likely the argument wasn't even worth her losing her life. And this may have been like a normal occurrence in their relationship. And we all know stories of people who are in relationships, and even when they turn domestic like that, like once they get violent, a lot of people either don't know how to walk away, or they walk away and come back, or just feel like it'll never get to the point where someone is gonna die. But in my opinion, if it ever gets to that point, or if you find yourself frequently arguing or disagreeing, then you have to realize that y'all are not meant for each other. And like the best thing to do is to really walk away with your life. Walk away with your little piece of sanity that you do have, and just go and try to start over and start another life, as far as dating someone else eventually. But it never should come to this. And it's gonna be interesting to see how this all unfolds and plays out. Man, to go from being like a decorated athlete, getting drafted in 2016 first round, it's very rare for people to even get into the first round. It's like 32 teams, and you're one of 32 from that draft class that actually made it out the first round. And you played on some real good teams, and it just all accumulates to this. It's just like, man, just throwing your life away. And like I said, more than likely it was a dispute, but the dispute probably wasn't even it wasn't serious enough to take anyone's life. But until we get more information, that's pretty much all I can say on this whole situation. Just wanted to do a reaction, and of course, bring this to the attention of everyone that comes to view my channel. But it's crazy because I have a couple videos of football players or athletes, or situations dealing with athletes within this series of videos this week. And yeah, this is definitely sad. But I'm gonna go ahead and close out. If you guys like my content, make sure you like, comment, and subscribe to my channel. This is Justin Paul. Peace.